It's a 135-foot truss bridge with a polygonal pig's back centre, whatever that means. I'm not a British engineer.
Off they go, bags in tow. Matt and Chrissy hit the road. Maps unfold, stories told. Adventures never getting old. Matt and Chrissy roam so free through the city, past the sea, finding joy in every mile, every turn.
G'day, it's Matt here from Couple of Sitters, and we are at we're on day number 5. We're at the Rocket Street Bridge. So we're not at day number 5 on the Rocket Street Bridge, even though I'm on the Rocket Street Bridge, so to speak. It was largely used to help connect Bathurst to the rest of New South Wales, predominantly Sydney. Built in 1888 by the New South Wales Railways Department, it's a 135-foot truss bridge with a polygonal pig's back centre. This isn't in use for the rail anymore. It's now used predominantly by traffic, as you can see, cars and trucks coming over this, but it has a long history and is considered to be a very significant part of the Bathurst history. Let's head over to our next stop on the trip. So we are on a little bit of a wild goose chase, I suppose, at the moment. We are looking for the Jolly Hurlers Inn, which is apparently at number 1 Rocket Street. However, the records that we've found refer to the building as still retaining some of its original characteristics, such as an arched entry, which number 1 Rocket Street does not have an arched entry. In fact, it's a lot like a late 60s, early 70s build breeze block house, kind of like the one I grew up in back in the day. And yeah, it doesn't resemble anything remotely like that's it just over there. It doesn't resemble anything remotely like an old inn or an old bakery. So the reason why I mentioned bakery is this is important. The inn was originally set up in the 1860s and it was a good little stopping place on the way out of Bathurst towards Sydney. The owners applied for a liquor licence in 1870, but they were denied. And then in 1895, it was converted into a bakery. Now, the bakery ran until the 1920s, where it was then sold off as, it's now a private residence. So yeah, as you can see, sometimes history just does not stand up to progress and innovation. So we'll see if we can find out a bit more about this later on. So we're now outside the Thompson Memorial School Church, which was built in the first half of the 1880s, according to the records that can be found. This church was designed by William Oakton, who was also responsible for the design of the town hall and the Bathurst jail. This church was used as a Sunday school and for public worship. So in 1929, a classroom was built at the back, allowing the Sunday school to move into this space. It's still actually used today by a dance academy. So it's great that this building is still stacked up and standing here. Here we are at the next stop on the Bathurst History Tour. We are at Torch Street, and this street is apparently named after a ship that was important to the British fleet, the HMS Torch. This ship visited Australia between the 1840s and the 1850s. This was a 16-gun brig sloop and it sailed around the world, protecting British interests.